talking about mod management specifically. I'm going to go through how I do mods and why they're so time consuming. I'm going to give a couple of ideas about how I think they could be better, and I hope you guys also leave some comments below and talk about ways that you think mods could be better. First and foremost, we got to talk about kind of why mod management is the way it is today, and that's because eons ago, what feels like eons ago, CG heard our pleas, and they gave us a separate currency, mod energy. They gave us a separate currency for mods, which was wonderful. Mods was the thing for end users. It was an end user thing. If you already had all your shards, you could then begin to use your cantina energy on mods. But obviously, everybody in here, I don't know if you're like me, a lot of players tend to farm shards first, and shards more than mods. You get more power from a character and getting it to 7-star than you get from putting mods on it. So the choice obviously was shards over mods at the time. Now, not so much. Now, maybe you don't want to inflate your GP in light of Grand Arena. So, but with this mod energy, which we are grateful for, which we love, CG heard our prayers. The CGods answered our prayers, and they gave us the mod energy. They made mods accessible to the rest of us, which is great. It was not such an end user thing. Now we have tons of mods. You can see here I'm just scrolling through. I've already passed through literally hundreds of mods, and I'm still in the blue. I still have green and gray to go, and I'm just barely past halfway. So now that I have all this energy and I'm farming mods every single day, I have all these mods that I have to sort through. And because mods don't show their attributes until you upgrade them, unless they're gold, so all mods except for gold mods don't show you their attributes. The only way to see their attributes is to upgrade them to level 15. You can see their attributes, and then the sorting begins. Then you can go through and look at them and decide which ones are best, which ones are useful, because not all mods are useful. And this is where the problem lies. This is where the mod management comes in. It is way too time consuming to manage hundreds of mods, and it's frankly not a fun way to play the game. It's a very important part of the game right now. It's almost a mini game where you have to inspect individually on an individual level hundreds of objects, hundreds of mods, and go through them just to get a few thousand power increase on a character isn't very rewarding, and it's not very fun. It's not attractive. It's not an attractive part of the game for users to keep coming back to. So literally, on a channel that I watch regularly, a streamer was advertising someone who goes through, who you pay to go through and do your mods. Mod management is so time consuming that it is worth it for players to spend their money on some place other than the game. So you would think that it's in CG's best, some of this money that's going out, at least if they're driven monetarily. But if they just want to make the game, make this aspect of the game more approachable, more convenient, more user friendly for their players, so there's a lot of things in this game that are fun and that are really enjoyable, that are already time consuming. I already spend a few hours on the game every day, and I'm not interested in spending that much more time on just having to look through tons of mods. So mod management is an issue, and I'm going to talk about so the fact that you have to level them up to see the attributes is the first thing about mod management. And I think this is a good intermediary thing. If CG were to implement something like a mass upgrade, being able to upgrade a subset of your mods based on the quality and so on and so forth, speed, the attribute, the primary stat, the set, upgrade everything of a certain set, certain attribute, so on and so forth, that would be amazing. I have to go through and I have to upgrade each mod individually And once I've upgraded all the mods individually, then I can inspect them individually to decide which ones are better and which ones aren't. So if there were just an upgrade all button, that would be amazing. I'm already floating at all this currency up here. Upgrade all button would be a huge quality of life change that would literally have the time that it takes for me to go through my mods. So let's go through here. This is what I do. I upgrade them so I can see all the attributes. Great. There's all the attributes here. Go through, upgrade them. Let's do one more just for kicks and giggles. This is just to show you kind of what I'm doing here. Again, upgrade. So I would go through and upgrade all of them. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to sell. I'm going to filter. I'm going to look at just the gray mods. So once they're all 15, once I can see all the attributes, I go through and I look at the attributes. I keep all mods with speed. I keep all mods with speed because you don't know how they're going to slice. They might slice and just get speed every time, and your gray mod is suddenly a gold mod with that hit speed every time, and it's like, whoa, I have 1720 speed on this mod now, wonderful. So I keep all my speed mods. And then for mods of the same type in terms of primary stat, I sell every other one. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's see, defense. Okay, so here's a defense mod without speed, and here's a defense mod without speed. So I'm going to look at both of these and their attributes and decide which one I think is better. So this one has defense, protection, tenacity, health. This one has potency, protection, health, offense. So potency, protection, they both have. That's good. So I have to choose between tenacity and defense, and offense and potency. I like offense way better. So I'm going to and I like defense less. So I'm going to sell that one, and I'm going to go on. Again, I'm going to look for mods of similar type. So we have offense. This one has speed. Okay, we have more offense here. So this one has offense. This one has offense, and neither have speed. So I'm going to look at these: health, protection, potency, tenacity. This one has offense, health, defense. I really like primary stat of offense with a secondary of offense. I think doubling up on offense is really good, especially in light of critical hit immunity. You know, your base damage is becoming more important. Once your crit damage, your entire crit damage attribute is useless against crit immunity, so your base damage is really important. So going for that offense, especially doubling up on offense, is really important. So I'm going to choose that one over this one. So I'm going to sell that one. So this is what I do. I go through and I keep all the ones with speed, and of mods with the same primary that don't have speed, I sell half of them, and I choose based on what I think is best. So that's what I do. I'm gonna hit sell. I'm gonna sell those two. That's what I do. If I went through and did that tonight, it would literally take me a few hours. So this is why I think that at some point, and hopefully in the near future, that CG will change mods, because mod management is an issue. At the very least, they're losing money because people are outsourcing to other venues other than CG for their money on mods, at least in terms of time management. And I'm gonna give an idea that I think is a really good idea. Do away with individual mods, but keep mods. Keep the mod selection here, with the square and the triangle and the arrow and the diamond and the cross and the circle. Make it so that the mod is always there. When you click on the square, you get to choose between the set. You click on the set, and then you get to choose between attributes. And you level up your set bonuses and your attributes bonuses by putting more money into it. Just the next upgrade, you upgrade, boom, it goes to the next level, boom, it goes to the next level. But you don't have to manage these things. Your set bonus and your attribute bonuses are count-wide. They're just there, and it's a finite set of things because these attributes are just set. It's just 20, 30 some odd attributes that are just there for set bonuses and secondary, primary and secondary. You just level them up on alone, and then when you go into a character, you just select which set and which attribute you want based on your account-wide grade or gradient or degree, your account-wide degree of what or level of which you've leveled it up to, and you just spend the regular currency on it, like you already do to upgrade them. And you can, and maybe after a certain level of money, then you start using the mod slicing materials to get to the next levels of the attribute. But having literally hundreds of mods to go through to do this is not convenient. And then you can still save your settings. You can still save the attributes that you selected as a loadout. It's still really easy to keep it that way. But that way it makes it so you no longer have to have a certain set. Like you have to have so many mods. Like if you don't have enough speed mods for 3 characters or whatever, you have to have at least 4 per, right? So that you have to have at least 12 speed mods of specific types. That's terrible. That's part of the reason why you need so many different mods, is because you need them per character. Take that away. It's extremely inconvenient. It's extremely time consuming. It's making people go out and spend money elsewhere to just manage their mods. I know it's sort of a radical idea. It's certainly not the most refined one. I just thought of it while I was making this video. But go ahead and leave your comments below. Well, what do you think would make mods better? What do you think would make mods more convenient? Let's get the discussion going. Let's get the discussion rolling. And maybe even talk about mods in terms of a canonical perspective. For me, for example, the idea of protection. I didn't like protection at first. I thought, what's the point of protection? I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just kind of like the amount of force that the person has. That's what protection is. The force is just protecting them. That's how the people have to fight through the force surrounding someone before they can actually damage them. I was like, okay, I like that. It made the game more fun for me to think about protection in that way. Just kind of have like a canonical connection or reason for it. But yeah, go ahead. Tell me what you think. What do you think about mods? How it can be changed? How it can be better? Obviously, CG did a great job with giving us energy, making mods more accessible for everyone, not just for endgame users, which was wonderful. And I think they're gonna deliver. I think they've already realized, if they haven't already, that mods are a little too time consuming. They're not an aspect of the game that is as much of a bang for your buck. The amount of time that it takes to really mod out your character well, the return to galactic power on a character for the amount of time that you put into it isn't that great, and it's not worth it. I think they'll probably go in. They've been doing this a lot. They've been looking at the icons that people select, see how often they select them, and making decisions based on making really good decisions based on what people aren't clicking on and what they are clicking on. I think they'll do that again here with mods. So yeah, may the force be with you, and keep having fun. Keep nerding out with this game as much as I do, and as much and more so, hopefully. I really love it a lot. I keep coming back to it every single day. I've never played an app game this much before. I've never spent this much money on an app game before. Not that I spent a ton, but I bought Django last year, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, may the force be with you. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.